G'day! In today's video I'm going to be doing a screen swap or screen assembly swap on an Acer B311. So these seem to be an educational laptop or a school laptop, especially in Australia where I live. So I see quite a few of these in my region, and it's just going to be easier to swap it with a working brand or second-hand but working screen. Have those floating around. So I'm going to need a few things. I'm going to need the replacement screen, Phillips head screwdriver, and possibly a pair of tweezers. But let's see how we go. Now, I'm pretty sure most of these screws, if not all of them. No, I've already blown my theory out. Long screw. What have we got going on here? Short screw. Short screw. This one over here is going to be a longer screw because it's on the hinge. So two long screws are going to the hinges, and probably every other screw here is going to be relatively small. I'll let you know if there is any other difference in sizes, but right now we'll go on the assumption that those two at the corners on the hinge are going to be the same size, and everything else will be the same size as one another. These front ones, don't want to leave the plastic. Worry about those in a minute. Now, use a pry tool. There we go. I'm just going to leave these 4 screws in the front here, put it off to the side. Since we're going to be disconnecting the screen, the antenna and the webcam, I want to disconnect the battery, which is just sliding this towards yourself. Pull it straight back. Now here's where I want to use some tweezers. One, I want to disconnect the antenna cables over here. I'll zoom you guys in for that. So I'm just going to push up. They're both disconnected. Next up we got is the webcam cable. That just pulls that direction. And just pull in a little bit more. There we go. That's ready. Over here we got the video / touchscreen cable. All in one unit. Flip that over, pull that back, and we're out. So this swap is very straightforward. If you haven't done any repairs, the biggest drama is probably going to be these antenna cables over here, but everything else is probably going to be hopefully reasonably straightforward. 2 screws there, 2 screws here. Do note the screws go back into, where'd that one go? There we go. The screws go back into the sections that have the arrow on them. There's an arrow on here, arrow here, arrow here, and arrow here. That's where those silver screws are going to go back into. If I open this up, drop it down. I should be able to kind of flip it over, like that. Walk it backwards, and I'm free. Move the old broken one, put the replacement unit in, do the same. So I'm just kind of folding it over so they sit in position, and then I want to grab the corners and fold it back on itself. And we're now looking like that. From here, put those screws back in where the arrows are. And we're a little bit over halfway now. Everything just kind of goes back to those locations that I mentioned. Okay. Now this I need to fold the tape off it, like so. And then I need to slide it in under the pins that are there. So it should look kind of like that. And once it's there, and that line's going dead straight across, I can fold this latch down. That should lock it into position. I do want to get rid of that bit of food or crud that's right there. There we go, and that's looking alright. This can fold back down. Get it back into the groove that's here. Okay, back into the groove. Now if I go back over here, snake this under here. I'll go to the camera first. Through there. Just gonna fold back. And there we go. Push it in. We're good. Fold that over. Done. Next up. Under. In. Now grey will go to over the top of white. You just kind of line it up so it snags. And once it's kind of latched, you just push down. It should make a bit of a crunch feel and sound and should lock into position. Do the same over here. That's where the tweezers come into play, because I can line it up with the tweezers and then just push. Yeah, that's on right now, or loosely sitting. Push down. To know that they're on, you should just be able to push the cable and it should just spin. It shouldn't lift up. That's that done. Yeah, there. Next up is reconnecting the battery. Peel this tape out of the way. Like so. Should just be able to line it up and then push straight in. And that's connected. Put that tape back over it. Now we're on the home stretch. Line that up. Push this back on. And around. I've still got my 4 screws sitting in the front there, so we'll do those first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next up, I'll use these longer screws and put them back into their position. When I say that, I think I've just knocked something out. This little doodad is sitting on my bench. I'm going to assume that's the battery reset button over here. I don't know if that's the case, but it seems like something that's just fallen on my bench just recently. I'd be willing to bet that there was probably that. Oh no, no, it's got its own little button there. And then you have to push a pin through to get to it. My mistake. Yep, that just goes through. I'm not sure what that's from. It looks like a bit of a SIM eject tool for something. Don't know why I've only noticed it now. But yeah, big screw here, big screw here, and put everything else in where else you can put it. And there are aftermarket screens you can purchase just to replace the screen by itself. In this instance I had the opportunity to just use a genuine second-hand part. What I find with the aftermarket ones is they tend to have a bit of like an air gap between the touch panel, and it doesn't look nice and black like the original screens. Granted, they operate usually just fine, but they do look a little bit inferior in the quality of the screen. I'd much rather it if the screen's off it just goes all black rather than like a grey. So that's just my thoughts on that one. But anyway, that's how to swap the top screen assembly on your Acer TravelMate B311 or Acer TravelMate Spin B3. That will do for today, and see you later. Bye.